On February the 26th, 1996, Pokemon Red and Blue were both released on Nintendo's Game Boy. They were the first installments of the Pokemon series and were first released in Japan as Red and Green. About 9 years later, people started recording their speedruns of it on Speed Demo's archive. Now I'll be referencing Speed Demo's archive as the main source of speedrunning data. I'll leave a link to that website in the description down below and you can all have a look at it and do even more research if you feel you must. In the beginning there was Squirtle, deemed to be the fastest starter as it could beat the first gym the easiest, level through Mount Moon efficiently, and not get bodied by the second gym. Its evolution line could learn some decent TM moves like Mega Punch, Kick, Dig, Ice Beam, Surf and Blizzard while abusing the interaction X accuracy has with the low accuracy Oko move Fissure. In the first two generations, X accuracy removes the accuracy check from the move, so as long as Fissure's requirements of the user being faster than the opponent is true, the normally 30% accuracy move will always hit. There are some other basic concepts about the speedrun which I will list now, though this is just a small glossary of words so you know what's going on. Red bar. If your Pokemon is below 5 out of 24 health points, its health bar runs down to red on platforms that have more colours, and there's a warning sound in effect the entire time. This sound, while annoying to some, saves time because sound effect delays are ignored, such as when leveling up, learning moves, and playing Pokemon cries. Frames. Pokemon Red/Blue runs at 59.7275 frames per second on a console, so if I talk about saving frames, it's probably going to be a lot of them. Naming things 1 character. Speaking of saving frames, runners name their player, rival and Pokemon A or B or I, etc. because it's only one character long, so when the text scrolls on the screen involving that player, rival or Pokemon, it takes less time/frames to do so. Determinant values, DVs. Each Pokemon has stats: health points, attack, defense, speed and special. These stats are determined by base stats of the Pokemon combined with the DV at each stat, which ranges from 0 to 15. In the speedrun attempts, runners generally would reset until the Pokemon DVs are the higher end of the 0 to 15 range because it affects how the stats increase over the run and makes more and more of a difference by the end of it. In May 2011, a runner, Mike89, and his brother Worcester starting attempting to get the world record of the fastest time in the game. On November the 24th, 2011, Worcester beat Pokemon Blue in 1 hour 55 minutes with Squirtle. There were some initial personal bests during his first attempt at the game, but 1 hour 58 was really the first important milestone for the modern Red-Blue, coming under 2 hours for the first time. On March the 13th, 2013, Worcester finally improves his time to 1 hour and 57 minutes, shaving 1 minute off of his initial time. 2 months and 14 days later, on May the 27th, 2013, Extra Tricky, a new runner, ties Worcester's time of 1 hour 57 on an emulator using Pokemon Red and his Pokemon Nidoking. At the time, the stance on emulated runs was that they were to be valued just as much as console runs because the in-game timer, to our knowledge, was accurate across both platforms. This also allowed a much lower barrier of entry to the games, since they could be streamed without people having to pay for the hardware to stream console runs. The reason Worcester used Pokemon Blue is because it gave the extra chance to get a Pokemon which could learn Cuts, which is required to get into the third gym. Other than that, the Squirtle route could just be as fast on both Red and Blue versions. However, Tricky's run was on Red because he used a different route involving Nidoking. Nidoking is a much higher encounter rate on Pokemon Red as opposed to Blue. The concept of catching a Nidoking and using it instead of Squirtle for the majority of the run was devised by Tricky's good friend Mountbank, originally as a consistent route for races, inspired by its usage in the Pokemon Yellow route. It's caught in Route 22 and leveled up initially by leading it against Brock and switching it out so Squirtle can kill the rock/ground Pokemon. After the first gym, Nidoking then has enough experience to take over from Squirtle and complete the rest of the game. Nidoking is a ground/poison type with a greater coverage in the game due to learning moves like Bubble Beam, Earthquake, Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, as well as also being able to exploit X accuracy and Horn Drill. Its typing allows manipulation of the AI in cases like Viridian Rival, where his lead will use a non-damaging move due to thinking it's super effective. On June the 17th, 2013, Bees uses the new Nidoking route and gets a 1 hour 56 run, tied 2 days later by Extra Tricky. 12 days after that, Worcester gets a 1 hour 55 minute run with Squirtle, which is tied once again a day later by Extra Tricky using Nidoking, and then tied again about a month later by Bees, also using Nidoking. At this point, we didn't know which route was faster. Worcester was certain Squirtle still had the edge over Nidoking, but an ever-growing number of people kept posting great times of Nidoking due to the route's consistency. On August the 31st, 2013, a 1 hour 54 minute run by Extra Tricky using Nidoking was followed by Worcester with Squirtle on September the 16th. Mount Bank with Nidoking then followed on October 13th, and J Payne Train with Nidoking on December the 10th. On December the 23rd, 2013, however, Mount Bank finally breaks the 4-way tie with a 1 hour 53 Nidoking run. February the 27th, 2014 saw the unveiling of Boom Strats. What Boom Strats means is the runners purposely let the Nidoking die to Koga's Wheezing as it uses self-destruct, and because it's his last Pokemon, the runner still wins the fight. Then when a rare candy is used on the fainting Nidoking, it is revived with very low HP due to the stat increase, and the health is kept throughout the following gyms all the way through to the Elite Four. From this point onwards, it was concluded that the Nidoking route was faster than the Squirtle route. Then on March the 6th, 2014, Worcester switched to using Nidoking himself and achieved a 1 hour 51 minute run on an emulator.
151. Wow. That was a pretty good run, but it wasn't the best run. I definitely think I could push this to at least 150. Wow.
July the 9th, 2014 came, and Xarian emerged seemingly out of nowhere with a 1 hour 50 minute run on an emulator.
But it does feel nice. A lot of the strats you used contributed to your time. Just the red bar strats alone save so much time. Like, if you didn't have those, a 150 wouldn't be realistic. It's been really fun to see this game develop. A lot of people like Worcester and Motivang develop strat that make this game really challenging and not just luck-based. So I'm really happy with this time, and I don't plan to go for a 149 anytime soon. I think it's possible to get that, so I think we'll see a 149 when there are some more strat improvements.
Xarian had been working hard doing offline runs on Red, but when he finally got the world record and uploaded it to YouTube, it caused outrage in the community since we had no proof of his attempts or progress up to that point. Many thought that his run was fake, although now we know that it wasn't. The community decided after much deliberation that from here on out, runs must be done on a console to be considered as the world record and ensure legitimacy. So the console and emulator world records were divided into two categories. And from now on, I'll only be discussing the console world records. On April the 6th, 2014, the new console-only rule makes 1 hour 54 minutes the best time again, first taken by Worcester and then tied on September the 8th by Xarian. A day later on September the 9th, Xarian gets a 1 hour 53 minute run. 6 days later on September the 15th, Worcester gets a 1 hour 51 minute run on console. Over a month passed, and on October the 25th, 2014, the record time returns to be in 1 hour 50 minutes by Xarian, and this time, of course, was on console. 2015 came along, and Xarian gets a 1 hour 49 minute run, the first sub 1 hour 50 minute run.
It was a huge moment for me because this was a really good run in addition to being the time that I wanted. Like, it's such a good run that I'm not even going to add that this is the world record. You know, if somebody beats this or ties this time, I won't even feel like, well, now I have to beat it, unless they come up with some new stuff or, play better than this. The quality of this run is what I was looking for. The fact that it is the best time is a bonus, I guess.
In late 2015, early 2016, there was an exploit called...
Toby, what are you doing? You're not even animated.
Oh, come on, let me explain this one bit and then I'll be off.
Yeah, okay.
Alright. In late 2015, early 2016, an exploit was discovered called Instant Text, which removed the time it took for text to load when talking to the bike shop owner pre-having the bike shop voucher. The instant text will then persist until the player either opens up the start menu or enters a yes-no dialogue box, heals up at a Pokemon Center, or talks to the bike shop owner again. And for a while, this totally changed the way that a glitchless run would work. That said, the community talked about it and then they moved it into its own separate category called No Major Glitches. May 31st, 2016, Germanic ties the 1 hour 49 minute run. August 5th, 2016, Xarian gets the 1 hour 48 minute run. The discussion of game time versus real time was initially brought up in December 2013 and then was revived again in July of 2016. This continued through August, and then by the 15th they decided that all game runs will be measured with real time. This meant that all other red and blue runs, as well as almost every other Pokemon game leaderboard, had to be changed, and this now meant that Xarian's run was no longer 1 hour 48 minutes, it was now 1 hour 50 minutes and 13 seconds RTA, real-time attack. Many members of the community came together in changing these times, and it seems that the rule now is that the game run starts from the new game, and then it ends with the first white frame at the end of the game. Well, thanks for having me on the show. I'd better be off.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So good, in fact, I would click the link in the description right now to go over to his channel and subscribe.
Wait, this is my room.
On September the 4th, 2016, Xarian improves his 1 hour 50 minute 31 second run to a 1 hour 49 minute and 48 second run. With the introduction of RTA timing, it was also made possible to save and quit during a run, since we no longer cared about pausing the in-game timer, which resetting the game does. This allowed RNG manipulation to be found, as it was discovered that a runner can perform the same frame-perfect inputs from startup to achieve the same RNG seed in the game. Initially, the manipulation was used to get the same godly Nidoran every single run. And in early 2017, on January the 19th, Gunner Maniac gets a 1 hour 49 minute 41 second run.
World record. You know what that means, boys? Gen 1 and Gen 2 king! I have all of the records for Gen 1 and Gen 2. I've been trying to get this for so long. Oh my god. I have red, yellow, gold, and crystal. This is the first time anyone's held all four since, I believe, Worcester, like 3 or 4 years ago. This is what I mean when I say the record's free, dude. Like, I didn't even play that well.
And then finally on the 14th of June 2017, PokeGuy84 surpassed all of the odds and claimed the #1 world record spot with 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 57 seconds. Boom. And that is it, we have made it to the current world record, and I'm sure that the time is going to improve even further, and if anything else happens, I will definitely make a part 2 to this video. And a massive thank you to Birdkeeper Toby for appearing in the video. His link will be in the description down below. I do recommend you go over to his channel, subscribe. He does do really good Pokemon videos himself. And a little side note for those interested, including both emulated and console runs, Xarian does actually have the #1 spot with a 1 hour, 48 minute and 49 second run, beating the console world record by just 1 second. And one final huge thank you to the Pokemon Discord server. Their link will be in the description down below for helping me out a ton with this video, especially to Hammer Show for actually recording some gameplay for me and checking over my video, making sure that I didn't make any silly mistakes, which I did, and they'd still be in the video now if he didn't point them out to me. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next one.
What are you doing on computer? Go outside, so beautiful!
To understand the power that's inside. Gotta catch you when you me. I know it's my destiny. Oh, you're my best friend. In a world we must have been.
Okay, cancel.